Ensure that you dedicate your entire life to this innovation, which will benefit the world. Then, when you test it, it may cost you your life. Something similar happened with these inventors, starting with Richard. This was a tailor, and they were quite fascinated with parachutes. Their vision was to revolutionize aviation safety and decide to design a parachute suit that one could wear comfortably and save one's life in emergencies. After years of hard work, they finally created this parachute suit at home. The time comes to test it. They obtain permission from the authorities to test the parachute suit from the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Initially, they claim they will test it with a dummy, but when the fabric prototype reaches the Eiffel Tower, they reveal that they will test the parachute suit themselves. They put on the parachute suit and ascend to the first platform of the Eiffel Tower at a height of 1,000 feet. Journalists and cameramen stand by to witness this bold experiment. Richard stands at the edge, adjusting his suit, takes a deep breath, and jumps from the Eiffel Tower. Unfortunately, his parachute does not deploy, and he crashes straight to the ground. Richard's life is lost, and his own ambition led to his demise. Next is Thomas Midgley Jr., a chemical engineer who introduced leaded gasoline and CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, to the world. He had significant roles in several inventions. At the convention, we mainly talk about him. In a photo, he appears paralyzed, with nearly his entire body affected. Thomas mentally designs a complex system with pulleys and ropes to help him get out of bed and return to it. On November 2, 1944, Thomas suffers a tragedy. He gets so entangled in his system that he suffocates. Thomas also dies in an accident caused by his own intervention. Third is Haris Lawson Henley, whose mission was to introduce naval warfare. He was interested in submarine technology. During the American Civil War, he envisioned creating a submarine that could break through enemy defenses and attack their ports. They designed the H.L. Healy submarine, which would reach enemy ships undetected and fire a torpedo bomb. This submarine was 40 feet long and could accommodate 8 people. The crew operated the motor manually to propel the submarine forward. Many lives were lost because of this submarine. During its global testing in August 1833, it sank, and 5 crew members perished. The team continued their work on the vessel. In October, Healy decided to participate in its testing and test the effectiveness of the submarine himself, along with crew members. The submarine went underwater but did not resurface. All 8 individuals, including its inventor, were lost. Later, it was discovered that the submarine lacked proper ventilation, leading to the deaths of everyone on board. They recovered the submarine from the water, repaired it, and launched it once more. It became the first submarine in history to destroy enemy warships during a conflict. However, it sank again, disappearing with all crew members into the depths of the ocean. 131 years later, the submarine was found in the depths of the ocean, and it was recovered in 2000. Now it is housed in a museum. Fourth is Aurel Vlaicu, a Romanian engineer, inventor, and aviation pioneer who was passionate about flight. After completing his higher education, he returned to Romania and began working in his flight profession. He was greatly inspired by the Wright brothers' achievement of creating the world's first controlled aircraft. Vlaicu constructed his own glider, which proved to be a one-seater. Following this, he was motivated to create a powered aircraft. He built his first aircraft in China, named Vlaicu Bay, a monoplane with a unique design featuring a 50-horsepower engine. It was tested in June 1910 and successfully flew. Following the success of Vlaicu the Fur, he began working on its advanced version, Vlaicu II, which was completed in 1911, featuring a more powerful engine and improved aerodynamics. This plane also proved significant, and he continued working on its advanced version, Vlaicu III, which was created in 1930, but testing was still pending. On March 13, 1913, Aurel crossed 3 mountains with Vlaicu VI while flying from Romania. An issue arose and the aircraft crashed in the industrial village. Aurel lost his life in this incident. The exact cause of the crash is unknown, but it was reported that it might have been due to technical issues or bad weather. Fifth is Marie Curie, who was from Poland and had an interest in radioactivity. She was the first woman in history to receive a Nobel Prize, winning 2 Nobel Prizes. Marie moved to Paris, where she conducted research on the phenomenon of radioactivity, leading to the discovery of 2 new elements: polonium, named after her native land Poland, and radium. Marie conducted numerous experiments under very dangerous radioactive conditions, using radium and other radioactive substances without any protective measures. After working in such hazardous conditions for years, her health deteriorated significantly, and she developed aplastic anemia, a serious blood condition in which the bone marrow cannot produce new blood cells necessary for normal body functioning. Her exposure to radiation ultimately led to her death. Last is Otto Lilienthal, known as the father of flight. He was a German aviation pioneer, fascinated by birds since childhood. His brother began conducting flight experiments in the 1870s. They studied bird wings and the principles of aerodynamics. Otto also wrote a book titled Bird Flight as the basis of aviation. His work influenced the Wright brothers, leading them to create a controllable plane in the future. Otto designed several gliders in a series that improved upon each previous model. He completed over 2,000 successful flights, which brought him international fame. He later built a lethal monoplane glider. On August 10th, near Reno, Germany, he took many flights. During his last flight of the day in this monoplane glider, something went wrong, and it stalled in mid-air, crashing straight to the ground from a height of 50 feet. Otto was severely injured in the crash, and his spine was fractured. He was transferred to a Berlin hospital, but the next day, on August 10th, 1896, he died from his injuries. His last words were, "The sacrifice must be made." If you had the opportunity to ask any of these 6 inventors a question, what would it be? Be sure to share in the comments. While humans have made sacrifices for the benefit of society, animals have also contributed significantly. In space exploration, we were uncertain if humans could survive in space, so scientists began launching various animals. Monkeys, rabbits, turtles, cats, dogs, frogs, spiders, and more were sent into space. I have created a video about what happened to these animals in space. Be sure to watch it.